Hello everyone, and I am back with my politics, and today we're talking about a super politically charged topic, and it's the Steam Deck. So if you guys didn't know, Steam just announced this new computer called the Steam Deck, and I'm saying computers because they're marketing it as a computer. It's this portable computer with a built-in control that's tailored to playing Steam games. All the new games can be played on it. There's this other machine, Woodhard made a video on it where he tested some games out and it can run Cyberpunk. Probably better than the PS4, which is amazing. And yeah, this new computer is coming out sometime in November, maybe December. I have reserved mine for 8 months, which is in April, and I cannot wait. Now, why am I talking about the Steam Deck? And there's one reason. Nintendo. Now, there's been a lot of uproar with the Nintendo community about the Steam Deck because a lot of people saying it's gonna put Nintendo, to the floor, and I don't necessarily agree with it. If I'm being honest, now that the Steam Deck is out, I really want them to be a third party, because the only reason why I didn't want Nintendo to be a third party is because of the portability in gaming systems. But now that the Steam Deck is out, the ultimate portable console, and it is the ultimate portable console, there's no point for Nintendo now. Like, go back to fucking making video games and that's it, just make video games for other consoles and they'd probably get more money. But as I was saying, people are saying that Nintendo is gonna be put down, just like the dog with the broken leg, or, the horse that fell over, right? Take a shotgun to the fucking head, And, they come up with these brain-dead defenses. Let me read you some of them. Now, top Switch defense is the games. Now, if you don't know anything, most Nintendo people, right, they don't buy, a Nintendo console for the console. They buy it for the games, myself included, I was being bored with the PS4, it's the end of the life cycle. PS5 is probably going to come out in 2 years, so I bought myself a Nintendo Switch, and I had a lot of fun. I got Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, all those games, those must-have games, just to have fun. And you can't really replicate that on the Steam, especially if Nintendo isn't going to make a game for, any other console other than their own, and they probably never will. However, there's this neat little thing called emulation. Now, if you don't know what's an emulator, look at the game I'm playing right now. It's actually a game from the PS1. It's called LSD Dream Emulator, and I'm playing on a computer because what emulators are is these programs that try to mimic the system that they're playing on. Like this is trying to accurately trying to mimic the PS1. There's multiple kinds of emulators. Emulators are getting really good that they're just starting to make PS3 games playable on them. Now here's the good part, I guess, is there are Switch emulators, and the Switch emulators are actually pretty on par with the actual Switch. You can play Breath of the Wild 4K 60 frames per second, and it looks good. I saw videos of it. Now, I'm pretty sure you don't need BIOS for a Switch emulator, so if you want the games and make it perfectly legal, you can just go out, buy the games, come back, dump the games into your computer, and then play the games. Because, usually it's illegal to get BIOS, but since cartridge-based systems, I'm pretty sure they don't need BIOS. You can just buy the games and dump it to your computer and play without even needing to have a Switch. Right, so that whole argument just goes down to the fucking drain, Maybe buy some Joy-Cons just to have some compatibility, Now, another brain-dead argument, it's the kid fans. They said, no, Nintendo can't die because all the parents buy them a Nintendo. There's a reason why parents call video games Nintendo. And that's a pretty good point, Not a lot of parents are just gonna go and see Steam Deck and be like, I'm gonna buy that for my kid. I'm gonna buy my kid a computer. However, back in the day, there was a reason why video games didn't make, huge sales, Not a lot of adults were playing video games. Actually, very rarely adults played video games back then, right? But compared to the sales back then to now, there's a huge difference. Now, of course, that might be due to a rising population. Even then, if only kids played Nintendo, then they probably wouldn't have as much sales. Keep in mind, Nintendo doesn't make like shitty amounts of sales. I'm pretty sure they barely made $10 million on Mario Kart 8, which is a huge number, but keep in mind, if Mario Kart 8 was released in every single console, it'd probably have way more. So again, that you know, defense is shot down really quickly. And now for the final defense, which, you know, solidifies, or it's like their ace in the card, like their ace card for these Nintendo fans, being like, oh, Steam Deck isn't all powerful. Their final defense, their last trump card, is the PlayStation Portables. Right, we have the PSP and the PS Vita. They say Nintendo just ignored them, pretended like they didn't exist, and they came out on top, which is correct, right? Nintendo beat them mercilessly, right? Just like a drunken dad beating your mom back in a Saturday night in the 90s. Now, it's a pretty decent point, I would say. Right, you know, the PlayStation Portable had, you know, pretty decent games, right? It wasn't, you know, all bad. But the games weren't up to par with Nintendo. I'm pretty, you know, they had some support, you know, you could play some PS3 games, maybe PS2. But the Steam Deck isn't a fucking portable console. It's a portable computer. It's a whole ass fucking computer that can play modern day games. It runs games probably better than PS4 can in some regards. Now comparing that to a Switch that's on its last legs, you know, basically the anorexic chick trying to get through PE in high school, you know what I'm saying? And an ultimate computer that can emulate any fucking, well, not any, but it can emulate most consoles. It can play every single game, because most games go on PC. Well, not every single one. There's some PlayStation exclusives and Xbox exclusives, but you get the point. Right, let's compare the two. I have this meme brought up, so I'm gonna read it out loud, I guess. But yeah, no, the Nintendo Switch, right? This is the OLED model, which was a spit to the face. I saw that and immediately lost respect for Nintendo. But thank God that the Steam Deck lords came in and swoop in, right? So here's the Switch OLED right here. Bigger, better screen, integrated LAN port. Same processor since 2017. Joy-Con still drifts. Better kickstand. And here comes the Chad Steam Deck right here. Literally a gaming PC. Blessed by Steam sales. A little bit of everything. All of the time. Oh, dude. My dick has never felt bigger, dude. That shit's amazing. And in reality, Nintendo cannot compete. You know, if Nintendo wasn't Nintendo, let's say if it was PlayStation that had the grip on portable gaming, they wouldn't compete. They would not compete. But I'm glad that Nintendo and Steam Deck are competing now. Now that, you know, the Switch finally has a competitor. Maybe it'll bump it out. Because, you know, I don't like when a company monopolizes something, right? Like, they're the only persons that, you know, can do it, right? We have Samsung and Apple, DC and Marvel, but there's competition, right? There's a need to get better, because if a company that you're competing against puts out better prices or a better product, you'd want to compare them or even outdo them. Competition is good. And look at Nintendo. Nintendo has been sitting nicely in this hill where they can do whatever they fucking want. And now that's changed, right? Nintendo can't just sell you a slightly better Nintendo Switch model for $50 more. Now they have to fucking compete with an affordable gaming PC for the same price or $50 more than a Switch. Nintendo ignores fans, and if I'm being honest, the Steam Deck seems like it's for the fans. It seems like they're at a net profit loss with all the components that came inside of it. So I'm glad the Steam Deck is out there. I hope it succeeds, and I hope it becomes big, because if I'm being honest, Nintendo needs to be put down a peg. Nintendo cannot stay comfortable. So yeah, that's my thoughts, I guess. If you liked the video, then comment what you think and like. And maybe even subscribe, you know? It doesn't hurt to subscribe. And yeah, bye.